How mandatory minimums are weaponized. To view the full article, click the first link in the description below. The prosecutors offered Mr. Haynes a plea agreement that if accepted would have resulted in a sentence of between 7 years 9 months and 8 years 5 months. According to court documents, when he chose to exercise his constitutional right to a jury trial, the prosecutors retaliated by adding 2 Section 924C counts. In short, going to trial cost Mr. Haynes 38 extra years in prison. In April, after Mr. Haynes had served almost 27 years, a federal judge in Brooklyn ordered his immediate release, criticizing his prosecution in a forceful opinion. Though the First Step Act brought an increment of progress, most mandatory minimums remain on the books, despite consistent criticism that these penalties have contributed to over-incarceration. This statistic is well known but worth reiterating. Though the United States has less than 5% of the world's population, it has over 20% of the world's prisoners. Harsh mandatory penalties resulting in needlessly long sentences are an undeniable contributing factor. While it doesn't involve stacked 924C counts, the 45-year mandatory minimum penalty that Mr. Mattis and Ms. Rahman face is part of an all-too-familiar pattern of prosecution. The goal is to coerce people to plead guilty to charges carrying harsh sentences in exchange for the dismissal of charges that mandate unconscionable ones. The message that prosecutors send to them and to so many other defendants is clear: if you consider exercising your fundamental right to trial, we will seek penalties that are so excessive that you will think twice, because we have the power to take sentencing authority away from the judiciary. When this regime of mandatory minimums began more than 30 years ago, 20% of federal criminal cases were resolved by trial. Today, fewer than 3% are, and more than 97% of cases are resolved by pleas. No rational observer would conclude that Mr. Mattis and Ms. Rahman should spend a majority. To view the full article, click the first link in the description below.